to go.
Grandma.
Because I wanted to go, not because somebody made me go. I don't want anybody to make them.
Just one word.
You heard what I was talking about. I said I had an interest in my mother. So I walked up the steps 3 times a day because I wanted to go. Nobody forced me and nobody told me to go. I went because I wanted to go. That's the same thing. I don't want them to come because Kenny had a fight with them and told them to come. I locked the door and I wouldn't let them because don't want that. You think you're doing me a favor, you don't if they come here because you made them come. I don't enjoy that visit. I don't want it. I don't
Grandma,
want it.
but it makes him sad.
I don't want it.
Of course not. We know that. You don't want to force her either.
I don't want it because Kenny sent them here to come here. I don't want it. I wouldn't let them in.
But he...
Cool. I just thought it was her birthday, that's all. But otherwise, they didn't harm me. They didn't do anything bad to me. Just that they don't bother much with me. So what? So that's.
So you think
they
Kenny...
don't have no interest. So they don't. They don't have much interest in me. Otherwise, they would bother more. So she says I'm old, and I know. I straight over. Your mother said that I'm old, and that I know how to take care of myself. She says, "Tell me how to do it." She says, "To get so old." She thinks that I know how to take good care because I'm old. So she doesn't have to bother with me. Because I know myself. That's what she said. She didn't say she doesn't have to.
Mommy used to see how you took care of your mother. Did you show her? Was she around when you walked up the stairs to feed your mother?
She was a baby. She was a little girl. I don't know. I never told her, I never bragged about it. I told it to you because you talked, because I wanted to go. And you know, we went we took the children to the park or someplace, I don't remember. My husband didn't work. So I said to him, you know what, my mother is alone, my father is working. You take me to my mother and you take the children wherever you want to go. So he did that, he took me to my mother. I come upstairs, she's in bed. I said, what's wrong, Ma? She says, I don't feel good. And here she was, all of a sudden, she got a heart attack, but not like that. Today she did, and I had to call the doctor. And if I wasn't there, she would have died. She all of a sudden, she started to get sick. And she called, and I called the doctor. After that, she was very sick. She needed a blood transfusion. And she was very sick.
Mm.
She was a very sick woman. But if I wasn't there that day, she would have, I don't know what would happen. But I wanted, nobody told me to come, to go to her. Not my husband, nobody. I myself wanted to go. That's all. But if I have to tell you to come to me and beg you, then I don't want you to come. I only want you to come when you want to come. When you yourself, nobody else should tell you. That's the only way I feel. They're not hurting me. And I know that I'm taken care of. The girl comes, she takes me shopping and everything. So that's all. So they're not worried. And then they know that I'm old, that I know how to take care of myself. That's all. But don't have much interest. I'd rather go with their friends than stay here. It's boring to stay here just like that. It's boring, you know. So, but I have to stay. That's where I live. But they don't live here. They work hard and they want to enjoy themselves and they want to go where they want. Not here. That's all. So I'm not mad at that. She calls me every day. Well, she'd ask me if everything all right. After as many times that I hang up, she calls on the cell phone and I don't hear her. So I tell her that's enough. She's always on the cell phone. She's always busy. And I don't hear her too much. But she calls and she asks if everything all right. Oh, so what could she do? And Elaine calls me every day. But that's, she should call, sure. In case I die, so what's gonna happen? If I'm not, if there's, nobody knows. So I'll be landing. Because at my age, you gotta be, that's what I told her the last time, Elaine. If you don't wanna tell me, tell Doris where you are. I said, you know, my health isn't that perfect. So she said to me, thank you, because she was mad. And that's all. But she doesn't. She goes away for a whole month. She doesn't call me. So I can't make them do things they don't want to do. I can't. It's impossible. God will help me. That's all. Whatever it'll be, it'll be. You want to be nice, and him, you come here, which I enjoy very much. It's very nice of you. That's all, but I can't force anybody. Just can't. I have to live here. I don't like it that much, but I have to live here. There's nobody to talk to here. I had one neighbor I used to talk to, so she died. And I had a couple of them. They all died. And I'm living yet because I'm old. So there's, I have to just thank God for that I'm old. And they died. I had a lot of them, but they died. I had that woman, what was her name, Cecile. Oh, she was a very nice person. I spent with her almost the whole day. She was very. They found her dead in bed. So I gotta thank God that I'm alive. That's all. But I can't force much. Children, that's the way they want to be, so that's the way they're gonna be. They don't hurt me. And they know that I got everything. And she said to me, you must be enjoying Alyssa and Kenny. I said, of course, that's all. She didn't see you either. She's supposed to see you today. So your camera works now? Oh, I was young. She died in 48.
1948, your mother died? How old was your mother?
She was about 65, I guess.
Oh, she was young. I thought she was in her 90s.
I was young.
Your mother was young too.
My mother too.
Yeah.
And my father died in 71, 3 years later.
In 1971?
What?
Your father died what year?
71. 1971.
How could
3
that?
years later.
How could that be? I never met your father.
68 to 71.
I thought you said your mother died in 1949.
68.
In 19...
In 1941. And he died in 51.
Oh, okay, because you said 70.
3 years later.
Okay, I was saying, how come I never met them?
You know. I'm going to take this and wash it up and put it away till. But did you say that he then said it's not true?
No.
Because don't put her in too. Then I'll have nobody. What's that? It was nice. You know, when I didn't have a television before you gave it, he went out and he bought me a television.
That was great.
And then he brought it back, because you said you had, but he bought it. And I didn't ask him. That was very nice.
That was great.
I think that was very nice. So sometimes he does nice things too. That was a nice thing. And when your mother went away, so he came and he took me for lunch. I said I didn't want to go, and he came anyway. And he was very nice. Sometimes they're nice. Sometimes they're not. It was only, I mean, what's her name? Alice was only a little girl.
I like it, Grandma. I like it when you talk to me about your parents.
Yeah, well, you had to go in there, so I had to run away.
Because you get mildew.
I know, I do that too.
You do that.
Of course.
You get mildew.
I know. Do you have a rag? I'll do it now.
Yeah, I did some of it, but I couldn't reach it. Otherwise, let the rest in peace. Yeah. I let sometimes people talk and I let them get away with it. I did a lot. I tried, but you know, I couldn't reach it. And you know, if you don't touch it, you get mildew and it starts smelling.
I know.
You have to do it on your shower too.
Yes.
You have to. Otherwise, you have to tell him.
Tell
Otherwise,
who?
you get mildew. They were 50 or what. Years ago, they didn't live that long. They didn't have no message. They didn't have the things that they have today. If a person lived till 40, 50, that was all.
You never met your grandparents?
Never. I never knew them. Did you know them? You didn't know your grandparents? There you are. They must have died young too.
That's why I love you so much. You're my
Yeah.
first grandma.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I know my grandmother.
In Harlem when we came to America, and then we moved to the Bronx. Harlem was nice at that time. We had such a beautiful park. It was beautiful. And then it changed. Who could go to Harlem today? Must be bad. She got me that because it's light, it's not too heavy.
Right.
But
A-town work.
then she wants to got the girl so the girl does it. If she wants to.
Right.
She's very good to me, but she doesn't like leading.
She's not supposed to.
No.
She doesn't get
Then
paid to
you
clean.
give you lighthouse work.
Lighthouse work.
So what's lighthouse work?
Wiping the counters, putting away food, dusting. She won't dust?
I don't know, I didn't tell her to.
They won't do like washing the fan or cabinets. Nothing where they go on a ladder. If she falls down, the company has to pay her money for doctors.
I know.
She can't do heavy
I
work.
don't send her, that's why I wanted Kenny to work.
Does she vacuum?
You're gonna give her the kids' toys.
Yeah.
She says she has no money for toys. And,
We'll give her
and
nice
even bought
toys.
her a beautiful sweater. I gave it to her already. And she bought her 2 blouses for her birthday. She was being treated nice.
Good. Treat people nice and they treat you nice.
Yeah. And he bought me you bought me that dust buster. I cleaned off the socks. She won't do that either.
Really? Who knows?
Oh yeah, she did. She used to give her money and everything. Oh yes. She was very nice.
So Aunt Augusta helped with your mother.
Oh sure.
But she didn't bring her food like you did.
Well, she didn't live. She lived far away. She lived on Sheridan Avenue. Far away. I lived 2 blocks from her. Not even 2 blocks. When Elaine was born, I lived on the west side there. So I said I want to live near my mother. So we took an apartment there.
That was nice of Grandpa Ben.
Did he run? I was supposed to be his blind. We were supposed to meet in a certain place. And we did. Oh, he's my brother. And he found me. Oh, yeah.
I'll put Rachel on a date with Brian.
So, oh, yeah. Oh. Boy, and then he called me the next day I should come to work. It was terrible. He was chasing me from one friend to the other. I was about 20 years old. I don't know. We never went out together. We never went out together. She went her way, I went mine. We were never very close. Now also she calls me once a week, and I call her one. That's all.
That's enough.
What else can we do?
Yeah, what more?
She lives in New York, I live in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
How could I do this? How can we manage? I have to live here. She was gorgeous. She won 2 beauty contests.
Really?
And she was the most gorgeous girl. She won 2 beauty contests. She was gorgeous. Maybe 10 years, 9, 10 years.
So when you guys came to America, were you in school?
Yeah.
You had to leave school. What was it like changing school?
What?
What was it like coming to America and changing schools?
Americans, what?
What was it like coming to America and going to school here?
We were all seasick. The only one that wasn't seasick was my brother Miles. We were vomiting. Oh, terrible. My brother Miles was all right. And we were all vomiting.
What was the boat like? Did you have your own cabin?
It was a big boat. I don't remember.
There must have been hundreds or thousands of people on the boat.
Oh, sure. And then they had a fire there. The white men got drunk. And they made a fire there. In the stove. And so many people got killed. They jumped in the water. And we got up in the morning. we did, we were all right. So much going on.
Wow.
Terrible. But terrible. We could have gotten killed too.
Where did you come in? Through Ellis Island?
No. We were second class then. Third class goes to Ellis Island. My father came and he took us, that's it. He took us, I can't talk now. I can't breathe. I can't talk too much. Good on everything. Unless, darling, open those windows more, you know, because it's warm. That's right. Just be cooler. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's warm in here.
Sure, take that off. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put something else on too, because it's warm. I know I'm in Century Village, but Century Village is so far.
We know, because we park almost in the other building.
Yeah, sure.
We were over there. Usually we park right out front if we have a car. How long have you lived here? How many years?
About 22.
Wow.
Yeah,
You're right.
because Marty said so.
I think so.
I'm here a long time. I
Yeah.
should own it already. I owned it.
Yeah.
Elaine owns it. Ah,
And you were married 3 times already.
I've grown out of breath. That's what's bothering me mostly. It's the breathing. I asked once the doctor, Dr. Stein, so he said to me, how old are you?
That's some answer.
Meaning to say, you're old.
Right.
I'm going to take this off too. I feel more comfortable. I'll put,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Video games. Oh, I wanted that one too. It's such a good game.
Sure, less than 20 minutes. Focus.
Hi. I want to be in pictures. They captured Saddam Hussein today. Look, there he is. He looks like Murray Gorowski. That's where they were screaming, death, the reporters, during the announcement.
Oh, they didn't take the garbage.
What we will see next is a picture of Saddam Hussein at the time he was captured. On your left, and on the right is Saddam Hussein after he was shaved. Next slide. And here you.
To bring to justice those who assisted the dictator. When she saw it,
We know.
I got trouble with my voice now too. And my voice has changed it completely. And I got trouble now walking.
I know.
So I shouldn't complain nothing.
You can complain all you want.
So so maybe they're right. Come on, Kenny, let's go. I want to lay down. I'm very tired.
Maybe just don't complain about your rectum when people are eating dinner, okay?
you said.
That's all. Everything else is okay.
You don't ever.
Breakfast is okay.
Sure. Otherwise, for dinner it's no good for
No, good breakfast is okay. Eggs and rectum, that's all right.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to eat anything. After hearing that, I don't want to eat.
That's funny.
So you don't have to eat.
After hearing about your rectum.
That's funny.
You make it yourself. Make it yourself. But she's cute.
What?
I said, you're so cute.
No, you're cute.
Come on, Kenny, with that, will you please let me lay down?
Yep.
Oh, she had a nice dinner the other day.
Oh.
I went with the girl. You know, they serve dinners. So she said to me, why don't you buy a dinner there? Well, she had meatloaf, and she had such nice potatoes browned. And she had a very nice dinner there. But I didn't buy, I bought a half a chicken. But my neighbor used to eat there every dinner. Her girl used to bring her there for dinner. I don't know, they found her in the bathroom. The man that picked her up said she hit her head. I don't know. You know, she was bleeding. And I said to her, get to a doctor. You're not supposed to bleed. She said, that doesn't bother me. Then she has a doctor that he did. So she wouldn't go to a doctor. So he said if he'll come to her house for $100. So he came to the house and she gave him $100. So he said she was swollen, her feet were limp. She's full of water.
Right.
And that was how she died a couple of days later. That man said she hit her head. But that wouldn't be enough. She must have had more than that.
It could be enough, but she probably passed out.
Oh.
That's why she hit her head. You don't just go and hit your head. You faint.
Oh.
She fainted, and when she fell, she hit her head going down.
Oh, but she didn't die from that. She fainted from something else, right?
If she didn't hit her head, she probably would have been okay. She faints. If she fell on the bed, she would have been okay.
But she was in the bathroom.
She hit her head, and it made her head bleed inside.
I don't know.
Maybe she died and she fell
The
down.
girl that works for her rang my bell to ask me. I said, I don't know. So there's a man downstairs that has the keys. So he opened the door. So I said, I'm not going in.
Right.
Would you go in?
Nah.
Not me.
Well, I'm a nurse. I'm supposed to go in.
But I don't.
No, no reason to.
So that's what he said, that she hit her head. And she lay there dead.
Right. Too bad.
Oh, for months. I don't remember for how long. She had scoliosis. Bone is not working right. I don't know. Let's talk of something live. That's what she had so much. I had so much trouble with her. She had from her nose was discharge. Oh, so I used to take her to the doctor. So she once bit him because he used to drain it. So my husband used to say to her, why not to say to that? He said, well, what shall we do?